Hey everybody, this is Michael Reeves, and today we are bringing you the second and final of two conference championship games today. This will be Dallas and I'm putting the game ID in, and I apologize here for my delay. It's Dallas and Seattle. So let me put this in and we'll talk to you a little bit about this game here real quick. I'm late arriving to the party here. That should do it. Okay, so let's set the stage here. This is Autumn Wind 2020-21. We had our AFC championship yesterday, and now we're getting ready to start our NFC championship contest, and it features the 15-1 number one seed Seattle Seahawks, who are coached by Dennis Crowley, and they'll be facing off against Mark LePage, who, as a 13-3 team, had the number 3 seed. They're coming off of a win against the Los Angeles Rams that gives them the chance to play in this NFC conference title game. They are the returning champions of Autumn Wind. In fact, they've won this twice, and Dennis Crowley also has won this twice. So we've just kicked off, basically. This is the first play of the contest, and this is a run up the middle, and it's a pickup of 9. Something a little weird is going on here with the animation. It's a little slow. So hopefully we can get that taken care of, or it doesn't take too much away from the game. I had to create a new link to get back into this game, and we have a couple people in the lobby here. I'll invite them in here in a moment. But Seattle, again, has won 2 championships in this league. This is the 17th season for Autumn Wind. This is our 17th championship. The winner of this game is going to take on the AFC champion, which we'll reveal here at halftime without having to spoil it, as you might want to go watch that other broadcast. Second down. A quarterback sneak, so 2 consecutive runs up the middle, and that's a 1-yard pickup for Russell Wilson, and we have our game's first down. We're just 1 minute underway here in this NFC title tilt between Seattle and Dallas. The winner will take on the winner of Philadelphia and New England, which are representing the AFC this year. There's a run that's guessed right. That's a loss of 1 on the play, and that's Philip Lindsay. So it's now second down and 11. Second down and 11, ball at the 34. I believe we have a couple of coaches that are in the broadcast here that have just joined. Nathan Baylor, who is the coach of the Houston Texans that finished the year 15-1. And I believe we also have Tim Bowler, who is the coach of the Oakland Raiders, who also made the playoffs here. So, gentlemen, feel free to join whenever you can. So here on a deep shot, we had a sack reading, and that is the first sack of the game, which that probably won't be the first time we hear that in this contest. That was Preston Smith. For the Dallas Cowboys. For the Dallas Cowboys, I believe he led their club in sacks with 8. But this is a team that can get at you from multiple fronts. 38 sacks total for Dallas this year. That put them in the top 5. I think they finished 4th, as a matter of fact. And Seattle finished number 5 in the league with 37 sacks. So these are 2 teams that can definitely get after it. Yeah. There's a third down deep pass that falls incomplete, and so Seattle will be forced to turn it over here on this 4th down punt. Let's let this kick go through, and we'll get back to seeing who's backstage so we can get some more people to join us for this broadcast. Again, the animation is running painfully slow here. Dallas will take over at their own 27. We'll fill you in on the details.
Can you hear me, Michael?
Hey, Nathan. And there's Duke.
Hello.
Well, we got a lot of people here. Great. Okay, so Dallas will take over 1st and 10 at their own 27, and that play is blown up immediately on that flat pass, 2 men in the zone. 2nd down and 12. Dallas was 13-3 this season. Coached by Mark LePage, who's won this autumn win title twice. So has Seattle. So the NFC is going to send a representative that has won this game, won the Super Bowl championship twice. Here's a pitch to Ingram. Defense correctly keying on Ingram, and that's not going to go anywhere either. So nice call from Dennis. 2 back-to-back calls, 2 men in the zone, which usually yields nothing, and a run key, successful run key. So now it's 3rd and 13. Both these teams are very aggressive when it comes to sacking the quarterback, averaging more than 2 sacks per game. 37 total sacks for Seattle this year, put him top 5. Dallas also top 5. Here's a crossing pattern pass to Cole Beasley. The pass is caught, and he gets just enough, 13 on Cole Beasley's card. So that drive, that first set of downs started out pretty rotten, but they're able to recover, pick up 13 on the receiver's card, no less. Cole Beasley on the reception. So move the chains. 1st and 10 for Dallas here at the 37. Here's a screen right, looking for Ingram. Defense guesses pass. It's on Drew Brees' lethal card, pickup of 6 on the play. Decent flat pass card for Brees. He's got a very good short pass guessed wrong card, the best in the set. He's looking deep, and that was for Chark, and there is a sack for Seattle. So 1 sack for both of these clubs. That was Ronald Blair, who had 7 sacks on the season for Seattle. They had a couple of guys with 7 sacks. Brandon Graham led the club with 10. Had a couple of other guys with 7. Again, this is a top 5 club when it comes to rushing the quarterback. Inside run for Ingram. Defense guesses pass, naturally. Let's see what he can pick up here. He's just going to come short. He's 1 yard short. So with the ball resting at the 46, decision time here early for Mark LePage. Some people like to play this aggressively. Some of them like to play ball control. Dallas, very much renowned for their defense, the toughest defense in the league, basically. Hard to score on this club. They allowed only around 11 or 12 points a game, and so they're going to let their defense take over. They're not going to take a chance. There's a punt that's going to go into the end zone, so Seattle will take over 1st and 10 at their 20. So Dallas has had 2 possessions, both of them ending in punts. Seattle with 1 possession, and they're going to take over at their own 25. So the game sometimes locks when the ball goes sailing into the end zone. So we'll have to get a number and jump back into this. It's kind of here.
For that 4th and 1?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
With Ingram and Breeze, I definitely would have. I like that personnel.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have like a dominant.
Gotta agree with you, Nathan. I definitely would have gone for it.
That's wrong.
So Seattle looks like they got 13 yards on that possession. There's a deep pass, and it is going to be complete to tight end Greg Olsen. And so they've successfully flipped the field. Ball now at the 32-yard line.
Another one.
Another D-shot. This one's guessed wrong, but it's going to be incomplete on Russell Wilson's card. So it's now 2nd down and 10. So two long passes on consecutive plays. One good to Olsen that flips the field. Second play incomplete. Ball resting at the Dallas 32. bring it down in 10. We're midway here in the first quarter of the NFC Championship. No score.
Dennis likes his bombs.
Yes, he does. There's your screen pass. That'll pick up 7 to Philip Lindsay. It's now 3rd down and 3. Seattle has a nice combination, 1-2 punch. 2 running backs this year that gained 1,000 yards. Lindsay and Raheem Mostert, both of them with 1,000 yards. No big name receivers, nobody with 1,000 yards. Golden Tate and Deshaun Jackson are his main targets. Wilson this year, 33 touchdown passes against 9 interceptions, 3,300 yards total. 35 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So 3rd and 3, the ball at the 25. The number 1 seed, Seattle Seahawks, 15-1. Dallas, the number 3 seed, returning autumn win champions at 13-3. Defense guesses run. He's looking for Tate, but with 4 men in the zone on that excellent pass defensive card, pass is incomplete. So now 4th and 3, and that will. Maybe.
He's not going to play.
I wonder as well. I do wonder as well. Let's see. So, well, looks like he is. Two through 8 and 12. And he misses it. So he shanks that kick. And so Dallas will now take over at the 32. So both of these clubs have had some 4th downs that have given some of the people in the studio pause for concern.
I think it's a lot harder for Dennis to go for it there than it is for Mark. Mark's got the best short yardage lineup there, facing a much weaker defense.
You force him to throw against an excellent pass defense, too. 0 men in zone, short gain, a pickup of 16 on the play. That was a white dice 6 reading on that flat pass to Cole Beasley. That's his 2nd reception of the game. Breeze perfect so far, 4 for 4. There's a quick out, and that's a pickup of 11, so it's another 1st down. I think that's Josh Hill, tight end. They go a lot with this 2 tight end set. Ingram is stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2. So after a couple of completed passes, Dallas is now in Seattle territory. Ball to 43. Off tackle run to Ingram. Defense guesses pass. 1 linebacker in the zone and another loss. So they've done a good job of corralling Mark Ingram, who has a terrific run card. And it's now 3rd and 13. Initially, Dallas was able to convert this 3rd and 13 on a pass to Cole Beasley, but it ended up in a punt. Drew Brees this year, 26 touchdown passes in autumn wind against 8 interceptions. Looking for Chark. Seattle's got a couple guys, blitzing a couple guys, and they're going to get to Brees again. So for the 2nd time in the game, Brees goes down to a sack, and they're going to have to punt this one. And that's Rodney McLeod on the sack. I'm sure that was somebody else's doing, but so McLeod makes the sack. His 4th and 22. A terrible kick. The worst possible kick, in fact, for Dallas. So Seattle will get the ball at their own 42. Fair catch on that play. So a rough break there for Dallas. So this is the 3rd possession for the Seahawks. No score, 3 minutes to go, 1st quarter. There's a run to Lindsay, but there's nobody in the zone. They lose a yard on the play on that blocking back reading. Second down and 11. This is Dennis Crowley's 13th season in autumn wind. He's made the playoffs 11 times. And there's a short pass, but it's going to be intercepted. So here's the game's first turnover. And Dallas will return this to the Seattle 44. So looking for Golden Tate.
Look for Dennis to start blitzing even on second down here.
Okay. So there's your first turnover for the game, and now Dallas takes over at the 44. There's a run, guess wrong. It's only a pickup of 3 on Ingram's card. Second down and 7. So Mark LePage, two-time champion of Autumn Wind. The champion last year.
Dennis is blitzing again.
Dennis bringing some heat here. Successful double team on top of that. Pass again, incomplete. Third down and 7 for Dallas. These two clubs met earlier this year. Seattle came out on top.
What do you guys think about blitzing on 3rd and 7 and you're at the 41? He's not in very good field goal position anyway.
There's an off-tackle draw to Ingram, but he's stopped after 5 yards, 4 yards actually. So it's now 4th and 3. And this time Dallas is going to make the decision to go for it here. They had a 4th and 1 in their own territory around the 44, and they decided to punt it. In this case, we're going to go for it here. The ball resting at the 37-yard line. It's no man's land. It's outside of the range of a kick. It makes all the sense in the world to get this here. So Ingram in the backfield. It's the same 2 tight end set that we've seen through most of this game. Stark in there along with Cole Beasley on the outside. So waiting for Mark LePage's call. 13-3 Dallas, 3rd seed in the NFC.
I kind of like the blitz on the showing blitz on 3rd and 7, Dave. Even down here.
Even at the 41, huh?
What's that?
Even at the 41 when you don't need to drive him back any farther out of field goal range.
Well, you don't need to, but look at his card right there. Like that's the only 7-yard gain on his entire card, other than the short gain on 2. So if you want to bring it once in a while, and you get him throwing short or get him throwing flat, I mean, Dennis got all those weak defenders short.
Oh wow! Look at this. This is on Hill's card.
Flats on the short passes against Breeze in that situation.
So a short pass to Hill, guess wrong, 29-yard pickup on Hill's card. He rolled a 2. Now 1st and goal, ball for 1. There was no score in the first quarter. We've already entered the second quarter. But Dallas on the doorstep here. That's Ingram in the full house backfield.
So another or something.
There's a pitch to Ingram, and they're keying Ingram. And that's a huge loss of 7, so great call from Dennis. He resists the temptation to go to the off-back David Johnson, and instead he's on Ingram, and that's a loss of 7.
You guys see that background noise?
Going on in the background.
Oh, there it goes.
Thank you.
I guess it's my wife's television show. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So 2nd and goal, ball at the 8. Let's see if anybody else. I'll check here in just a little bit, see if there's anybody else in the studio.
Well, that was
backstage, if you will. Sorry, Nathan.
Oh, that was a great call.
Was a great call. Looking for Ingram. This time defense gets his pass. And it's on the D card, so that's a break for Dennis as he loses 3 more. And you look up there, Ingram, 8 carries for only 3 yards, so Dennis doing a great job of keeping him here in check. And if he could force a field goal, In a situation in which the ball started at the 1 yard line, that's a big win. He's one play away from doing it.
Gives Mark a little flexibility now with at the 10, the flats are now have to be covered.
That's correct. So we'll see how aggressive Dennis decides to play it here. Seattle already has 2 sacks in the contest. Sorry, Nathan.
I bet he brings it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he will.
Yeah, he might hit Johnson in the flats, though.
Well, he used him instead to double team here. So there's a pass to Chark. He's not being double teamed. It's on Drew Brees' card, and he finds the incompletion. Brees' card guessed right is lethal. It's over 50% completion percentage. But he misses out on the coin flip, and they'll have to settle for 3. So that's a win for Seattle, no question.
Yeah, he's got 20 combos there on the short, and on the flat, he's got 2 that'll get you. Obviously, the empty zone, it's still hard to get even 10 yards on the empty zone, other than 8 to 9 rolls.
So that was a crucial key. How much of a difference did that make? So a loss of 7 for Ingram. So Dallas obviously looking for more, but they will settle for 3. Let's put that back up to full screen. And Seattle will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25. There's an off-tackle run to Lindsey. We got the bulk of the carries this year. 2 running backs who eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark, him and Raheem Mostert. 2nd down and 8.
Those are 2 pretty good backs. And Lindsey can run it just right a little bit too. Or Mostert anyway.
Both these teams running 2 tight end sets. That's Will Dissly to the right from the real-life Seattle Seahawks. Greg Olsen, who had a big, long gain early on in this contest. But Seattle was unable to convert on their field goal. There's a guest run short gain for Lindsey. He picks up 15 on the play, and will move the ball out to the 42. So Dallas is up 3-0 early, 2nd quarter. In this NFC title game, the winner will take on the winner of New England and Philadelphia for Super Bowl 17, the Autumn Wind Championship, 17th edition. There's a flat pass that is incomplete. Defender X reading all he needed to be a 4, just enough to get it done. I don't even know what his reading was. Maybe it was more than 4, but either way, he got it done. 2nd and 10. Looking for Golden Tate. Defense is doubling both of the tight ends here. Oh, excuse me. No, that was a successful double team. And this pass, eventually, wait till the animation comes, wait for it. And we have the 2nd interception of the game for Russell Wilson. Let's see if they're able to haul him down. They do. So a successful double team. I thought it was Tate he was thrown to. I was wrong. So the pass is intercepted. On Russell Wilson's card. So Dallas will set up shop 1st and 10 at the 46. That pass was intended for Olsen. So Dallas double teamed both of the tight ends there. Olsen, who already has 1 big gain, ball is picked off. There's a pass for Chark. Defense double teaming Chark. And that pass is incomplete. Dallas only allowed 179 points this year. They had the number 1 pass defense. They have an excellent pass defense to begin with. The completion percentage against this club was only 47%. Here's a quick out to tight end Vernon Davis. That's going to be caught. Defense unable to make that play. 13-yard pickup. And so once again, Dallas is in Seattle territory at the 41. 9:54 on a moving clock here. 3-0 Dallas over Seattle. Number 3 seed on the road here against the 15-1 Seahawks. There's a run for Ingram. He'll pick up 5 on the play. 9 carries for 8 yards so far for Ingram. Off tackle run for Ingram. Defense gets his pass. And this one is on Ingram's card. So finally, he's able to break through with a big run. There's a pickup of 16. So now it's 1st and 10 at the 20.
Kind of interesting. He ran a draw there on 2nd and 5.
Yeah, that's kind of bold.
Got to be pretty confident that he's just going to be blitzing and calling pass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You sure don't want to see another key there, that's for sure. Off tackle run again for Ingram. Defense once again guessing pass. This time looking at Cole Beasley. Not much damage there. It's a pickup of 1.
Okay, now Mark's
Go ahead, Dave.
blitzing now.
Riding that horse some more here. There's Ingram, but he stopped at the line. So now it's 3rd and 9. Defense had a linebacker there. Is Dennis average good or average?
I think he's good average.
Good average. Or that, yeah. Square into Beasley. That's incomplete. So it looks like Seattle's going to dodge a bullet here.
See, I think that plays into Dennis's favor when he's getting him trying to hit those flats to stop some of the blitzing, because Dennis does not have the defenders to stop a guy like Breeze short passing all day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it doesn't matter. I mean, you can't just do it the whole time, but I'd take those 4s one-on-one all the time and just keep throwing.
Right.
You got to be amazed at how well Dennis has played with that defense, with as many holes as it has in it. That's remarkable.
Yeah.
You got to know how to protect him, and he's obviously been doing that all year with that record. It's astonishing, actually.
Well, I mean, if Mark just started chucking bombs and short passes, it could be problems for Dennis.
And there's a pickup of 8.
He wouldn't have to really chuck it. Just like you said, flats and shorts. There's enough to have to cover there. But Dennis has been doing it all year long and his whole career, so that's what he's made a living out of, protecting those 4s.
Well, he keeps flooding flats and then blitzing. I mean, to me, you got single coverage short and long against 4s, and you got best trade quarterback in the whole set.
Screen to Lindsey. That's a pickup of 9. Defense gets run on the play, and so that's a first down for Seattle. They have 5:06 to go here in the second quarter, running clock. They're only trailing 6-0. They've already turned the ball over twice, 2 interceptions from Russell Wilson. One on a 4-man in zone, the other on a successful double team. But Dallas is only be able to get 6 points out of it. In fact, early on in the second quarter, they had the ball resting at the Seahawks 1 and had to settle for 3. There's your dreaded 5. Guessed wrong on Lindsey's card. 2nd down and 10.
I used that for Jeff. Michael doesn't want us to reveal the outcome of that game, but it wasn't real successful because I didn't have any pass blocking.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you look at Mark's team; he's got 7s and 5s, and
yeah, that's a whole lot different.
Half of I think what Dennis does here is just try to get him to throw more flats intentionally, even if he's got open zones here and there, or just fours in zone, because he's got fours short and long too. And if he really wanted to go after him with his defense, he's going to win that battle, throwing bombs and then playing defense. He's going to play where he threw the bomb on a third down. I like that call. I mean, it's going to be a pass, but you have a really good shot of a 4 down the field, 0 in the zone.
Yeah.
Wow. Third down run, inside draw, 12-yard pickup for Mostert.
Beats the contain.
He beats the contain.
Dennis wishing he had Bobby Wagner in this league. Or Mark.
Mark, yeah.
Dennis probably does have Bobby Wagner.
So there's an instance where defense is never going to guess run on a place like that, and that's where Mostert can thrive. Another 5 there for Lindsey, so he loses another yard on the play. 2:42 to go on a running clock. So you're blitzing linebackers. You're leaving empty zones on third down. I mean, the only benefit to throwing flat for an opposing coach is if they get lucky with the 0 men in zone, right? Because on the quarterback's card, you're not going to get the benefit of that if you're blitzing extra defenders. There's a
and 0 men in zone. Yeah.
deep shot to Jackson.
You get the 0 men in zone. There's some really good gains on there.
Right.
If you are throwing to a guy, like if he's not blitzing, if he's like double teaming and you get those 0 men in zone, then your receiver ratings come up as guessed wrong. So that can be a big benefit. Sure. If they're blitzing and you throw to the guys covered by the linebackers, those guys can be guessed wrong. So if those guys are really good, that can be a benefit. And there's definitely little spots for it, but against Drew Brees, I mean, I'm gonna say don't throw against my 4 short when you have the best card in the whole. His card right is better than a lot of guys guessed wrong.
It is. It's over 50%, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's
20 combos.
I mean, so that just right off the bat tells you you've got to be aggressive. You just can't rely on rolls. So after that successful double team, another one for Dallas, they'll take over with 1:52 to go, leading 6-0. If I recall, I believe Seattle had the ball first. There's a run for Ingram, and there's another double-digit gain pickup of 12. No timeout. They'll just play hurry up. Screen right to Ingram. It's guessed right. That'll be a pickup of 5. Well, the animation isn't moving quickly, but both these teams are. They both call a really fast game. A 1:15 to go. Off tackle run to Ingram. Defense guesses pass, but it's on the defense's card. So it's now 3rd and 5.
Ingram's down left too. Be a big deal. Because
So neither. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say it does seem like Dennis definitely realizes or has a philosophy that he's going to let Ingram run a lot of the time and then just try to stick it to him when he feels pretty good it's going to be a run.
So 3rd and 5, 45 seconds to go. Neither club elected to call timeout there. There's a pitch to Ingram. Defense guesses pass. No linebacker in the zone. It looks like he manages to get out of bounds, but he's a couple of yards short. of a first. And so Seattle won't get the ball with great field position and probably won't have a lot of time to do much. Be fielded at the 15, fair catch. 30 seconds to play. Seattle does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
I'd say this pretty much is a win for Dennis, having thrown a couple of interceptions and only being down 6. I think he's in a pretty good position.
Well, especially with that goal line stand.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think he'd agree, Dave. I think he'd agree.
A pretty good field goal chance, 3/4, like 75% chance, I think it was.
Yep.
Who gets
There's
the
a pitch to Lindsey.
In the second
Lindsey's
half?
going to pick up 13 on that play. He's going to get out of bounds at this point. I guess it really doesn't matter. Seattle with all 3 of their timeouts. So in essence, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 plays left.
Dallas will get the ball in the second half, Dave.
Okay. All right.
Dennis could still get it in the field goal range with a decent run or catch here.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsey's got a couple 30-plus yarders on his end run. Looks like 3 combos he could.
There's a run to Lindsey. It's not going to matter where this is going to end up, inbounds or out of bounds. It's not going to pick up anything. In fact, it's a loss of 3, so it's second down and 13.
Wouldn't be bad to have Mostert in here.
I was wondering why he didn't have him in here either. I mean, because obviously New Orleans is not going to guess run. So why not go ahead, unless he's preserving his carries for later.
He might be doing that.
I wondered the same thing.
Yeah, doesn't Mostert have an 80-yarder
to throw
What
deep.
was that, Dave?
Doesn't Mostert have an 80-yarder on his card?
That's a catch, I believe.
Was it catch?
No, it's not. That'll be next year. Mostert's long as a 41 with a dot. He has a long gain and a 41 on his end run. And he can catch it 39 with a dot. So,
yeah, he's a weapon, and he's not.
Mm-hmm. He may be just preserving carries. That may be what this is about. Because you basically, with 22 seconds left, he's going to have to figure out a way to navigate 40 yards. So he'd have to hit a few short gains in a row. Maybe he just didn't think it was worth it.
With that dot on a flat, you can, looks like he might be leaving some open flat zones here too.
So 3 white set here for Seattle, defense 3-3-5. Let's see if Dallas.
There's Mostert.
See if Dallas is bringing some heat here. That's Bud Dupree, I believe, out there on the right, whose coverage responsibility is Mostert. Actually, that's Preston Smith.
it's pretty unreal. Double Mostert here, too. So, this might be the guy he throws to.
Wow, he's bringing everybody. Gets strong, pickup of 10, but he fumbles the ball.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
Seattle is able to pick it up. Let's see, with 1 tick on the clock, will they call timeout? They will. So they'll set it up for one final play.
If Dallas had picked that up and ran a little bit, he would have been in field goal.
Absolutely. So that could have been a disastrous 3rd turnover for Seattle here in the first half. But instead, they're able to make the recovery. Well, Mostert has a long gain and run. If you hit him at 12, I guess that'd be about his best shot. He's got a 4 defender on the outside, but there's probably not a 60-yard run on that end run. 1 man in zone, nothing happening here, and we have made our way to halftime. The number 1 seed Seattle Seahawks here at home are trailing the Dallas Cowboys 6-0, the number 3 seed in the NFC. And the winner of this contest is going to take on Jeff Smith and the New England Patriots, who are making their first appearance in the Autumn Wind Championship, the 17th edition this year. Both of these two clubs, Seattle and Dallas, have won this Autumn Wind Championship twice. Dallas has appeared in the game 3 times. Excuse me, Seattle has been in the game 3 times, the championship game. This will be Jeff Smith's first appearance. And Dallas is the repeat champion, so they're looking to go back-to-back.
Howdy.
Rick Byron's in the studio. We got to cast the thousands here. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing great. Just
Great.
The Rick Byron's? Good.
The Rick Byron's.
wow. I don't know if I deserve that.
Well, we just found out a couple of weeks ago that in 2004, Larry says that you're the one that just kind of up and said, hey, let's just go all computer, all digital. It was your
True.
idea.
It's true, man. What if what if we could stop playing 7-hour face-to-face games and cut it down to an hour to an hour and a half on?
Well, what about the stats too? How long did that
Stats
take?
are automatic. They're like,
Oh God, remember that? We would bug guys for stats, and it was 7 hours worth of games, Rick, but it was probably 9 or 10 hours of driving time both ways plus the games, right?
no, Dave, I'm talking about a 7-hour game with you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm the exception. You can't count me and Paul. We're kind of a different category.
I had my car stolen with my whole book of stats one year.
Oh,
I found it in the river.
well, Paul had a briefcase or something stolen too once that lost a massive amount of stats.
My first ever strat draft was in Rick Byron's backyard.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
In the old beach house. Yeah, that was a classic place, Rick. Are your folks still around, Rick?
They are both gone.
Jeez.
House in Whittier is gone.
Yeah,
Well,
those
not, it's still there, but
are
not,
neat years at your house.
not in our family anymore.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yes, you are. Fortunately for us.
You trying to say he's an easy guy to beat?
No, I'm saying he's great to have around.
That'd be accurate, though, Nathan.
How about that?
I'm only kryptonite for one team in this league, and that's Dennis for some odd reason.
Good guy. That can't be.
The number 1 seed is down 6-0, or just getting ready to third quarter. I think so. He's the best coach in this league. I think they can do it.
Michael thinks he'd be there.
You know what Marquez reinforces one thing I would say about if you have a chance to get an excellent pass D, get it, do it. But nothing else, is nearly as important.
Pretty hard to do, really. It's really quite
That's what I'm saying. If you have a chance to do it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever had one. I don't even know if I've had one.
I don't know, the one championship game I made it to, I had an excellent pass D. So
I had one in the Gridiron Gladiators, or one of the retro leagues, and I played Paul in a playoff game, and I had just a monster defense. I fumbled the ball 5 times, lost all 5 fumbles, and lost the game. Oh, well.
What does it take to get one? 29?
29 in Autumn.
Oh, yeah, that's
30
29.
in pretty much every other league.
That's such a tough thing to get. I mean, you might wind up with, 3 6s and a 5 back there, but then finding linebackers, it's hard to find 5s and 6 linebackers too to assemble to help you out with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially now.
So 3rd down and 3, Dallas with the ball at their own 42. They're up 6-0 here in the NFC Championship. of Autumn Wind 2020-21. There's a pickup of 4 on the play, so Dallas will move the chains. Ball at the 46-yard line now.
I think
Dallas
at this point,
go ahead, please.
I think at this point, Dennis isn't going to be calling much run at all because Ingram's already got like 6 or 5 carries left, something like that, and he's only down 6.
So David Johnson checks into the game. Receiver double teamed successfully on that play. 2nd down and 10. Johnson's checked back in. So he's going to preserve carries as well. I was trying to see how many carries he had remaining, but we pretty much played with him for the whole year. I bet you're right. It's just a small handful.
Ooh.
And there's going to be a nice pickup for end run for Johnson, and he's going to pick up 12 on that play. So move the chains as they're once again in Seattle territory at the 42.
Surprised he's not blitzing the end run there, but maybe he has tendencies.
That's Von Miller there to the outside, as Nathan just mentioned. 2nd down. Ingram has 4 carries left, unfatigued.
Oh, yeah, David Johnson runs off back. I see.
David Johnson not nearly as effective, but he's got to preserve some plays here. So defense calls pass, and that is intended for Charkin. It is completed. That's on the defense's card. 3 men in zone. Interception split 2 through 4, but a pickup of 12. So now with the ball at the 30, Dallas is in field goal range. We're just 5 minutes here into the 3rd quarter. The defending Autumn Wind champion, Dallas Cowboys, up 6-0 over the number one seed here in the NFC. There's a short pass, 4 men in zone, and that's going to pick up 12 on the play. Defender X reading. Defender was a 4.
It's kind of interesting because, I mean, I don't know what Mark thinks he's going to do here. He's not going to get a lot of – he's getting him guessed wrong runs out of a base formation. Doesn't have many carries left.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Dennis can just blitz and call pass and be pretty much covered everywhere.
Okay. Inside run for Ingram. Defense guesses pass.
Oh,
And there's a
Seattle.
fumble. And Seattle has recovered, so there is their big break.
Huge.
That's the first turnover of the game for Dallas. Seattle has 2 interceptions. They also had a fumble late in the 2nd quarter, but it didn't really matter with 1 second remaining. They were able to come up with their fumble. But a huge turn of events here for Dallas, who looked like they were on their way to at least getting a field goal out of this drive and pushing this lead to 2 scores. But instead, Seattle still in striking range as they'll take over at their own 15. As is expected, they've had some difficulty moving the ball. They have had 1 field goal attempt, which was missed. That's been it as far as potential scoring opportunities. They were marching on a drive in Seattle territory, but it was a double-team interception. So 2 pickoffs thus far for Dallas. And speaking of the bomb, he's looking forward to Deshaun Jackson. Defense guesses pass.
Boom.
And it's on Russell Wilson's card, and there you go, a 29-yard pickup.
Before that play, I was going to say he should just run, and then he gets himself a bomb.
Yes, he did. And he got him a good roll. So
Shocking that Dennis would run, and throw bombs. Shocking.
Well,
Oh, wait, that is Dennis.
Bucks runs on his card. It's not quite so all or nothing. I mean, it's kind of nice. There he goes
So
again.
you know what? If he says, let's do it again. So he runs it twice, but this time the pass falls incomplete.
Guessed wrong.
Guessed wrong. Deshaun Jackson gasping for air after 2 straight flies, puts his hands up and says, put somebody else in the game. Dennis says no. Let's see if he makes him run 3 wind sprints consecutively here. Off tackle to Monster, but he gets on the defense's card. So now it's 3rd down and 6. Gosh, against a team like this on Guess Wrong, you're just hoping and hoping that you can get this on Mostert's card. You need more offensive rolls than you need defensive card rolls against a club like this with an excellent pass defense and a very good run defense. They were allowed the fewest points in the league this year at 179. He went all in with a lot of aggressive trades. He told me after the game last week that he feels like he's headed for a rebuild with an aging Drew Brees. So this could be the last hurrah for Mark LePage, but we'll see. Maybe he'll think about one more run. But he does have an aging roster.
He also trades 20 times a year, so his roster will turn over quite a bit no matter what.
True.
Trader Mark, 3rd and 6. Huge conversion here. And it's an inside run. Defense guesses pass. Are they going to be able to get past the contain? They cannot. But this is 4-down territory for Seattle, obviously. Now it's 4th and 1.
Dennis will go for this.
Absolutely. There's no reason not to here. How many chances are you going to have in defenses in Dallas's territory anyway? So you definitely go for it. 2 tight end set. And he does put Lindsey in there. And Nathan mentioned earlier that he has a pretty decent guess right card.
How aggressive does Mark get here? What do you think?
Well,
I know you would get aggressive.
So he can be aggressive, and Wilson's not as good on the flat.
Yeah, I think you got to do something to jam up that middle.
He's got a 6 center, though.
It's a lot tougher situation on the – oh, there he goes. It's not bad.
Inside run for Lindsey. This should be – oh, the 25. Are you serious?
Wow. That's
Oh,
amazing.
boy, what a horrid roll.
Oh,
Literally the only thing that would have stopped that, unless some crazy defensive roll, the only play that could have stopped that.
wow.
Oh, and so they'll turn it over on downs, their 3rd turnover of the game.
Oh, that is a killer.
So they're unable to capitalize on Dallas's fumble, and the Cowboys will take over at midfield. Here's a run to Ingram. Defense guesses pass, and there is another short gain, a pickup of 14. So just like that, they're back in Seattle territory. 5:40, 3rd quarter here. Moving clock, up 6-0.
It's a short game machine.
Gee, Mark went pass on that 4th down. Interesting.
Inside run. This time defense guesses run. Interesting that he didn't maybe key him there. Regardless, 0 linebackers in the zone, no gain for Ingram, who now is fatigued. So that could play a factor. It's definitely a step down when you go to David Johnson, who checks into the game. 2 tight end set for Dallas. If Dallas can just sneak a few more yards here, they can get in better field goal range and push this to a 2-score lead. So Seattle's got to do everything they can to perhaps force a punt. Here is a quick pass, and again, 0 men in zone, a pickup of 15 on the play. Was the zone vacated, or was he blitzing?
He moved the linebacker to the right flat
Okay.
and blitzed the other guys.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it.
He's been playing a lot of games with the middle linebacker being the 6. I mean, if you get Mark throwing at a 6 a lot, I mean, you're going to get burned here and there, but it's not a horrible thing in the long run, I don't think.
So a loss of 1 on the play. Ingram is checked back into the game here. He's a decent receiver. 2nd and 11, ball to 25. He's fatigued, but he has carries. Here's a screen to Ingram. Defense guesses pass. Incomplete on Ingram's card. 3rd and 11 with the ball to 25. From here, it's a 42-yard field goal that would extend this lead to 9.
Dennis is going to bring the house.
Mark might just be on the field goal and go up 2 scores.
I would at all be surprised to run up the middle.
Pass.
Yeah, look,
Just-
he doesn't have 3 wideouts in. Went with a double tight end.
He's going to go with a flat pass.
I think he's going to run it.
There's all sorts of things he can do here for sure. But at this point, I think it's all about, oh, you're right. He is bringing the house. There's a quick out pass to the left. There is no defender in that zone. And he's going to pick up 9. And with 4th and 2, I don't think there's much of a decision here. Mark's going to try to put points on the board, as this will be the 3rd field goal attempt for Sanders. And he boots it through. And so now Seattle finds themselves down 2 scores after that terrible break. 4th and 1 in Dallas territory. Seattle drives the length of the field, 40 yards or so, and has extended this lead 9-0. So it looks like we're going to freeze here.
Hey, Michael, I just wanted to mention that of the 179 points that Dallas gave up, I got 3 of them, okay? Just wanted to make that clear.
You ruined his shutout, huh, Butch?
Well, Butch, I only played him once. It was in the playoffs, and I got 0 of that.
I played him once in the playoffs and got, what I get, 7 or 10? I don't know. It wasn't very good. It was undeserved points. I think we all could cry the blues about this team.
Deep to Mostert.
I had my chances in the playoff game. He turned the ball over, and just, man, every key 3rd down, everything just like that. It was. I could feel Dennis's pain. It was either that or he made a great call. It was so tough to sustain the drive against that defense.
14 points is the fewest amount of points that Seattle has scored this entire season. And it was their one loss, actually, to Shreveport. They lost 17-14.
Woohoo!
Deep guest drawing, and he misses.
Jeez, 2 deeps to Mostert.
Wow.
By the way, I had a poor pass defense, and I held Dennis to the lowest point total of the season. Huh. How did that happen?
How did that happen?
Luck.
Yeah, because I'm looking here. There's no fumbles. There's no interceptions in that game. That was just
It's called veteran coaching.
excellent coaching. I was going to attribute it to that. Absolutely.
I had a good day.
Hey, the guy who created the online game, let's just be honest here. You deserve a win every once in a while against a 15-1. So this is aggressive. So 3rd, excuse me, I thought it was 4th down. This isn't aggressive at all. What do you mean he's not punt on 3rd down and 3?
4th and 3. I think here.
What's that now?
I think he would go for it in the spot.
You do think he would go for it here? Down 9-0?
Yes,
Yeah, most definitely.
yes, he will. So
Well, I mean, he's held him to 3 field goals. What would be the loss? And even if he did wind up getting a touchdown, he'd still be 2 scores down. So that makes sense. But my mistake. We'll see if it gets to 4th and 3. But right now it's 3rd and 3 as we're in the last few ticks here of the 3rd quarter.
Oh, my.
Okay, does that change things now? 4th and 5?
I mean, he rolled a 6. He just ran to the strong, to the defensive strong.
Well, he's going for it.
Well, I know. He had put a linebacker in that zone, and it's
my.
the linebacker that's covering the guy that you've been throwing deep to. So it's pretty badass move by the defense there.
Evil.
What do you think? Another Bob the Mostert?
That's right here. I wouldn't 4th and 5. He can't run, so I mean,
Can't run. Nope. Gosh, staring at an excellent pass defense going for it on 4th and 5 in his own territory.
you roll a D card and you're just screwed.
I don't know any coach that would do this other than Dennis. This is pretty bold.
This is very bold. I agree. No way.
He's going to go look in.
deep.
No, he's going to go deep to Deshaun Jackson again.
Look at that.
It's got to be on the offensive card here.
He's looking for a must run or something here too.
Oh, he picks it up.
Oh,
25-yard on this Deshaun Jackson's card. And of all things, it's on the defense's card, but 0 man in zone.
Awesome.
Wow.
That make a difference?
Oh yeah.
He did go sick, so he would have beaten.
Well, not on that play. It didn't make a difference. But
No, you're right. It didn't. 0 man or 1 man in zone. It wouldn't have mattered. But, I mean, think about it. You're thrown into the teeth of an excellent defense. I don't think anybody's rooting for it to be on the defensive card, but had it not been for that, I don't think that's a completion on Russell's card. I think Russell's is a 5.
I think if you tell him it's going to be a 6, he'll take it. But other than that, because he could beat that defender all those 9 plays there, 9 combos.
Just a huge call. Defense gets run on that play. It didn't matter. It was on the defensive card. So Mostert picks up 1. 6 carries so far for 27 yards for Radio Raheem. 2nd down and 9, ball at the 35. As we've made our way into the 4th quarter, with the excitement of a 4th down and 5 conversion, a 25-yard pass to Deshaun Jackson. So Seattle is still alive. There is a pulse. There's a sideline pass. Defender X reading, defender able to make the play. So once again, we find ourselves at 3rd and 9. Matt Gay is the field goal kicker for Seattle.
Mark
Here
is
would be
running a lot of run here, or has been on this drive.
a 52-yarder from here. He's already missed a field goal. So can Dennis come up with another conversion here?
He might go 2 more plays again here.
I agree. I don't know that this is anything but 4-down territory.
Yeah.
Well, if it works once and works twice, let's try it a 3rd time. So he's going to try a deep shot, but this pass is incomplete. So it's going to make this conversion pretty difficult.
Interesting. I thought he would go with something with.
Well, he can kick a field goal here.
It's a 52-yarder.
There he goes.
50-50 from here.
Yeah, I would. You got to.
There he goes. Yeah, he's actually a little better than 50-50.
It is. You're right. He is a little better than 50-50.
With a variable, he can get bumped up, but 50-50 without it.
It actually isn't 50-50 anymore. It was good.
It's 100.
Yeah.
So Ingram, who is fatigued, has checked into the ball game. Dallas now up 9-3.
I think kicking the field goal is the right move there.
Oh, yeah. That's probably part of why he went deep there, too. It looks like the kind of spot where you might just try and get a little bit of yards.
Oh, there's a strip fumble.
Oh.
And another fumble, which we have no idea what's happening. Let's see who winds up getting this.
Trying to advance the ball? No. No, he fell on it, which is smart. All I know is, does it seem like to you guys every time I try to advance the ball after a fumble and that I recover, I fumble it again, and every time the other guy does, it seems like some offensive lineman gets 17 yards.
80-yard touchdown by the guard.
That's happened. Good. It's not just me.
I only do it if it's like maybe a 4th down, obviously, or maybe a 3rd down, depending on where I'm at on the field.
Right.
So while he didn't get the turnover here, the big news is 2 consecutive sacks now, and looks very promising here for Seattle to get this ball back very quickly, only down a score. So 2 consecutive sacks. This one, McLeod, that's his 2nd sack of the game. So Geno Atkins, McLeod has a couple sacks. There's one other sack, I believe, for Seattle. So it's either 4 or 5. So third down and a lengthy 22. This will be an inside draw. Boy, you burned another carry for Ingram there on a play that he had little chance of converting a first down, but pickup of only 2. And so Seattle is going to be in business here. Well, they decide not to pick up the ball. And it'll rest at the 33. But Dennis has to feel very, very good about himself. Only down 6 points. Let's see if Russell Wilson can shake up this home crowd, get some energy. Put their first points on the board here on their last drive. The ball at the 33. There's a run for Mostert. Second down and 8 on the defense's card.
Center couldn't do it.
Man, Mostert cannot buy a roll on his card, can he?
So the center is a 5, Nathan. What is the center?
There's a 6, but he's in the 3 wide.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's right. A downgrade. Sorry. You're right.
Cost him there.
Yeah.
And he runs 2 tight end most of the game. So
Yeah, this
there's
is
a
what
screen to Mostert.
Want to run 3 wide against with Wilson because, I mean, that card is not a flat pass card. You know, that's you'll take it here and there, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, this looks like me last week, basically playing.
Well, it's a similar card. I mean, it's
very much so.
Long, short, and long, and it's okay on the flat, but he wants to run, I'm sure, and then he wants to throw it short and long when he can get them wrong.
You can't make a living doing that, that's for sure. So third down and 8. Things looking really positive for Seattle. Now they're facing one of these lengthy third downs.
I mean, third and long against this team is just death. Yeah, you know, if you consistently try to convert that, man.
Right.
I think one of those 2 receivers on the left, where he can probably throw them without getting doubled.
That's Alex Erickson, the Cincinnati Bengal.
Oh,
looking for Will Dissly, who will make the catch, but he stopped 4 yards short of the mark. I can't imagine him going for it here.
I think he's going to go for it.
Yep.
I knew it.
I just have a terrible imagination, I guess. 4th and 4, all at the 39. So once again, gambler Dennis Crowley is going for it here. Here's the thing, though. I mean, if you don't make it here, they're just a first down away from pushing this thing back out to 2 scores. He's already proven that he's been able to stop him on a long field. And no more Ingram, really, that's going to make any damage whatsoever. I think you just go ahead and kick it and see if you can stop him.
3-4.
I mean, I agree with you, but Dennis likes to, it's just his mindset is keep
short pass to Mostert.
Keep the pressure on. That's his mindset.
Yeah, I mean, how many championships have I won? 0. So I'm not going to say anything against him, but I'm just saying it's not something that I would do.
You're close, Rick.
So that's on Mostert's card, but the pass falls incomplete. And a turnover on downs. Dallas now will set up shop at the 39-yard line with 10 minutes to go.
Did he double anybody on that play? Did anybody see?
He couldn't. He was in a 3-4.
So
wait for the short to Mostert because it's
trying to
linebacker covering
Yeah,
him.
I wanted to get the 4 on him.
Yeah, because that's probably a completion on one of the receivers.
Well, that's a break for Dennis there. A loss of 3 yards, so that's going to
nice
push him deeper and deeper out of field goal range. So 2nd and 13. Ingram 24 carries now for 61 yards. I mean, he's got to be hyper fatigued at this point. So David Johnson checks in.
I think he throws the short pass to David Johnson, or a draw to Johnson.
You know what? A draw looks good. Yep, there you go. What do you know? 6-yard pickup. So they get a little bit of it back. Now it's 3rd and 7.
Okay, now Dennis brings everything. What does Mark do?
Well, I don't know that Dennis will bring everything, though. I mean, he's showing him blitz, and I think Mark has only really responded by being conservative so far. There you go. And then Dennis, in turn, makes a great call.
Square into Beasley double teamed, and this is where it's no man's land. Sanders, but he's 50% from this range, or was it a little bit inside of this? I think actually.
I'm not sure on his. Let me look.
No, it's academic. They're going to punt.
He's got 15 combos to the 37, so any variable, he's automatically going to shank it on top of it all.
So they're going to gain 16 yards of field position here. So great work from Dennis.
I mean, Mark's pretty conservative in his approach. He plays percentages. I think he actually knows the percentages. He has them either written down or just knows them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's kind of like playing poker. I mean, you know what they are if they're going to do what you think they're going to do, But everything changes when everything the defense does changes all those percentages.
Yeah. But
so there's another flat pass for Russell Wilson. It's guessed wrong. And on the interception split, it's a pickup of 5. So 2nd down and 5. We're halfway through the 4th quarter here. Dallas, the number 3 seed in the NFC with 9 points. Seattle, the number 1 seed, 15-1 club. Dennis Crowley trailing 9-3. The winner is going to take on New England in the Autumn Wind Championship, also known as Super Bowl 17, sometime this week.
He just can't, man. He is finding the holes on the card.
Mm-hmm. So he goes back to that flat pass guard again that Nathan mentioned earlier that is not his strong suit.
It's still amazing that Dennis is right in this game. I mean, he is within striking distance of taking the league here.
Absolutely.
So, and there's been a lot that's gone against them.
3 turnovers, right?
This field goal.
3rd and 5. He's looking deep for Tate again.
He's hitting these blanks, these little holes in the card like that.
Oh, right between the raindrops. So that pass is incomplete. And it's now 4th and 5. So this is a no-brainer. He will punt this one.
Wow.
Wow, he's punting.
That is something.
That's big news.
Yeah. Man bites dog.
Yes, that's it. That is breaking news. So just under 7 to play. And again, Dallas is up 9-3. And if you love field goals.
I mean, Dennis is a mad scientist, but he's not mad. Not crazy.
He's a little strange.
Step away here for just a moment, guys.
So you fly to shark there, 0-minute zone.
Ooh.
Missed all the defenders in long games, though.
Yeah.
And Dennis, I just, man, how do you get to a championship game with 4s across the board in your pass D? You know what I mean? Man.
I can't tell you how, Rick, I couldn't do it. That's amazing.
I get the feeling a lot of people just aren't aggressive against him from what I mean, just watching this game.
How could you not be aggressive looking at those 4s across the –
That's only the second bomb, I think, of the whole game that New Orleans or that Dallas has thrown.
Yeah, Mark
doesn't use the bomb very much.
like I said, he doesn't throw bomb. Dennis is much more the bomb. Mark is very, very conservative.
Rick, do you remember a year that Larry Davis played with almost all the heroes right there on the
Sure.
and I think he won 3 or 4 games that year. I was pretty impressed because there was, I mean, I think he had all zeros in the secondary.
Oh, he tried to. Why did he try to return that?
Yeah.
Why it was 5-yard line? I mean, he's not going to get. Look at his.
I think Michael's beating up his family.
Oh, he did let it bounce. Why? That was weird. The punt return showed something different, but he's at the 20, so.
Bomb to Tate. That's wrong.
Bomb to Tate. And defense gets his run. Let's see. There could be something good cooking here.
Oh, a pick.
Oh, my goodness gracious. An interception. Ball picked off at the 49.
That's the second bomb guessed wrong he threw for a pick, I think, this game.
Wow. Let's see. He's had a double team. Actually, he had a double team interception, a 4 in the zone interception, and that's Russell Wilson's third pick there.
I mean, look, on the defensive card, you have to, if you roll a 5, you have to roll a 2 or a 6 or a 10. That's your only chance to complete it. And then you start to go on receiver. You have no other chance. That's excellent pass D, man. It's
well, and it kind of goes back to what we'd said the other day that, you know, again, this is a coin flip game, basically. So regardless of whether or not Mark called run for whatever reason, you're still not punished for it because your card is your card. It has no bearing on your call.
Right.
And one wonders if maybe they could make just a little tweak on that. I mean, look, it's nice to get away with a break here every once in a while, but that was a missed call, and yet he's still rewarded for it. Not that doesn't happen in the NFL, but so tough break for Dennis there. That's a great call to actually get him to call run. That would have been a huge, huge break. So that's 2 weird breaks for Dennis now. He also had a 4th and 1 in Seattle territory on a guest wrong run by Philip Lindsay on a 4th and 1, and he dialed up the dreaded 5 and lost a yard. So,
yeah, what was nice about the one thing I'll say about the face-to-face game is you did. It was your game. Now it wasn't. You weren't relying on strat. So we, in that league, we had guessed right and wrong on defense cards.
I heard that you guys had homemade rules, which I think that's fantastic. But I mean, we're basically, I wouldn't say stuck with what we have, but there's really not much flexibility with it.
That was a really unlucky roll for Mark.
Yes, it was. So now it's 4th down and 1, and no decision here.
I mean, I think he goes for it. I would go for it. Just because you can get the first down, you could put this game away.
He's lined up to go for it, but he punted in a similar situation here just a moment ago, or did he have more yards to gain? Maybe it was like 4th and 4, maybe?
Yeah, he had more, and I think he was in his own territory.
It was like 4th.
No, he was about here. He's I think you're right, Michael.
It was a 37-yard punt.
Yeah, but that was 4th and 7, so.
Okay, it was 4th and 7. All right, that makes more sense.
I don't think I'd run a full house. I just get Johnson and Breeze. You got 2 guys that could line bucket, and then you don't have to worry about the flats being flooded. It's one less thing.
I mean, I don't know what fatigue level Ingram is here.
This is either a short pass or it's short pass.
He's at level 2. Defense in the short yardage, and that pass is going to be complete for 14 yards to Vernon Davis.
Yep. Great call.
And Dallas is sitting pretty here. 1st and 10 with the ball at the 23.
That's still a little bold to throw it short, but it's a smart play.
Dennis's secondary with Drew Brees' guessed wrong short pass card.
That's like 30 combos on Brees card guessed wrong.
It's
receiver there.
I think actually that's a percentage call.
Yeah.
So loss of 1 on the play there. 2nd down and 11 with the ball at the 24. The best that Dennis can hope for now.
4-7 though, Rick, and you regret it.
Well,
you regret running it and getting that roll of 5 too. I mean,
that's true. Either way,
let's make your best choice.
And there's another 1st down. Guessed wrong. Pickup of 13. And Seattle is on life support at this point, down 9-3. But Dallas on the move with 2:06 to go with the ball at the 11.
Somebody dig Don Meredith up. I think he needs to sing this song.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that I can't sing that to Dennis. I can't bring this. I like Dennis a lot, actually, and I can't bring myself to do that.
No.
So 2nd down and 8, we've hit the 2-minute warning. You know, it's times like this where you almost wish you could just go Madden and just let him score. If you're going to go down 2 scores, you might as well go ahead and go down 2 scores. Instead, there goes 1 timeout. 3rd down and 8. So Dallas is all but assured of extending this lead, barring a turnover or a blocked kick.
Touchdown.
And there is your score. So at least Seattle will have a little bit more time to work with. Score is now 15-3. Probably opt to go for 2 here. No, 16-3. So they'll put this extra point through, probably. Yep. So Dennis has got to figure out a way to score 2 touchdowns in 1:37. Something the Seahawks have not been able to do in the previous 58-23.
Gents, I have to cut out. Thanks for letting me join. Great call, Michael.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming on board.
We'll see you in
Good
the
to Rick.
Good to talk to you, Rick. You take care, man.
Yeah.
All right, so with 1:30 remaining, Seattle trailing 16-3. So Dallas looks like they will be moving on. And what an impressive defensive performance for a club that threw a shutout in the first round. I still cannot remember my final score. I'm still blanking on it. But who could blame me? It was either 7 or 10 points. And 3 points here to one of the premier coaches in the stratosphere. So hats off to Mark LePage, the 2-time Autumn Win champion. He's looking to go back-to-back. Dave, have we had a back-to-back since we've gone electronic?
Larry told us that Gary Nagata went back-to-back in playing it, but I don't think he won those. So I don't think there's been back-to-back champions.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that.
I don't know if the website has that listing of champions 1 through 16. But I don't believe it. Somewhere there's like a page that has the medals on it. Somebody didn't do their game prep.
You did a lot of game prep, Michael. Don't shortchange yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. This has been enjoyable. Really enjoyable. And I love it when a whole bunch of people come on board. That makes it a lot of fun. It's more of a watch party than anything else. So 1:07 to go, 4th and 8, last gasp here for Seattle. Quite a performance here for the Cowboys today. Not that they haven't had their share of roles on defense, but some nice double teams. But Seattle has done everything they possibly could to stop this club, including a barrage of sacks, but overcoming 3 turnovers, interceptions, and 1 change of possession. Receiver double team, but he's still able to make the play. So we're not pulling the plug just yet. Just yet. Minute to go. Seattle's turned the ball over 4 times, 3 interceptions, and 1 on downs. So ball's to 49. They have no timeouts remaining.
Bomb, touchdown, onside kick, touchdown, and you got to win.
And you go home, and we interview a happy Dennis. Dennis.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but, I guess, right? Bomb completed isn't a rare case.
8 seconds to go. Ball on my 19, 81-yard touchdown pass to Brashad Perriman, and we beat Green Bay. Stuff happens. It's a game.
He might have a better chance on a short pass with 2 men in zone like that the whole time.
And that's what he tried. Is that what he tried there? No, 0 man in zone. He threw a flat, didn't he? Yeah.
Jackson, although he was doubling Jackson that time. I think this might have a long gain on his short pass. No. Tate, I'm sure does then. Yeah, Tate does. Guessed right. But he's on Tate.
Defense double teaming Tate. There's a shot to Mustard, and this pass is going to be intercepted. And as Dandy Don Meredith said, they say that all good things must end. And so the number 1 seed in the NFC will now go down, and we will have a matchup between the number 3 seed Dallas Cowboys, who are looking to repeat as autumn win champions, up against a first-time participant in Jeff Smith with the New England Patriots, who finished 12-4 for the season. So congratulations to Mark LePage, as this will be – find his coach file here real quick. I know he's won twice. Let's see how many times he's actually been in this championship.
I think Mark has called really good defensive games in this one. I liked both of what they did.
I do too. I thought they both called outstanding defenses.
I think Dennis was out of his mind in the first half calling defense. I thought he did a terrific job.
They both called great defensive games.
Sure did.
Well, Mark was smart not to let him run a lot, and that's as much run calls as you'll see in a strat game right there, I think. There was a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I've been shortchanging Dallas. By the way, this is their 3rd consecutive championship appearance.
Jeez.
So they were in the Autumn Win Championship in 2010 that they won. They were back-to-back that year, Super Bowl 11, which they lost to the Raiders. Tim Bowler, I think he's on this broadcast. He's in here somewhere. Then 15, they lost to Paul Mankiewicz and the Chargers, 21-24. Then last year, they defeated Philadelphia. And so this is 3 years in a row for LePage. So 5 times in the last 8 championships, Dallas has been there. Can't argue with that. Nine playoffs out of how many years has he been in this league? 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12. Looks like 16. So he wasn't part of your guys' inaugural class back in 2004. He actually joined 1 year later, 2005. So this is his 16th season. And he didn't start out well. Actually, his first 6 seasons, he didn't get double-digit wins. It wasn't until his 6th season that he went 9-7. And since that time, he's had 1 8-8 record. Everything else has been a winning record.
Yeah, Mark's been in the league. So has Dennis. Those 2 teams. I'm always happy to see those 2 guys in the other division when I'm looking at the lineups.
Right.
For the other conference.
So this will be their 6th appearance. This Dennis Crowley. This would have been his 4th had he made it this year, but he's been in there 3 times. He's won it twice. Crowley hasn't been in the league as long as the rest of you guys. Let's see. Now, Jeff is a newcomer. He's only been in the league. This was his 8th season. And up until this point, he'd only been in the playoffs 1 time, basically. So this was his 2nd playoff appearance. And when we talked to him after the game yesterday, I think he was still surprised that he's made it this far. But he's got a really, really strong club and a very, very good. Doesn't he have an excellent pass defense as well? Or is it an excellent? He has one of them.
Good pass.
Tell me again, please.
Excellent run, good pass.
So we've got opposites here, basically, that are going to face each other. We got a good run, excellent pass up against an excellent run and a good pass next week. And Carr had a really good season. And he's got some great receivers on that club, too. Metcalf's on there as well. Boyd. He's got a decent pass rush, if I recall. That's going to be a good one.
I seem to recall he has a decent pass rush.
Yeah, I've got the notes here. Let's see.
I don't think that's the first time in my life I think I've been sacked 8 times in a game.
I think he might be trying to join the broadcast Michael, I don't know if you've checked back.
Sure. I'll go right in there and go feast whoever is here.
Oh, he's not on yet. He said he was gonna down in the comments.
I'm sure he will.
I actually think David Carr has a pretty, or Derek Carr has a pretty good chance with that 3 receiver set against Dallas, a better chance than Russell Wilson had anyway, because he's so much better on the fly.
Let's see who his running back is here.
I was kind of surprised that he ran a 3 wide receiver set so much of the time against me.
I think he ran a lot of that this year. I think he just, you get those, because you got, 4s on the outside, I think, Dave?
Yeah, I do have 4.
So, I mean, lots of times you get that and a decent inside running game, and that can be your offense right there.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for Dennis, let's take a look at the box score here real quick.
I kind of figured I had to score 30 points to beat him. Turns out I needed to score 31 and didn't.
Oh, that's a tough team to score 30. I played him 2 games. I might have scored like about 30 points. That might have been exactly what I scored, actually.
Wow. 3 of 14 for Dallas on 3rd down. Dennis just coached so well defensively.
I wasn't going to dink and dunk him and get up and down the field and score 24 points or anything.
Well, Cousins has a nice card in that he can pretty much throw to any zone. He can throw flat, right or wrong, and then guessed wrong. Cousins is actually a better quarterback guessed wrong than Drew Brees is. I mean, on the short pass.
Yeah.
So he's got a good card.
Well, that's what I figured. I figured I'll use this short pass card, and like you identified, he's got 4s out there that cover people. So it's just here's Dennis Crowley.
Hey guys, what can you do against that defense, man? I just couldn't roll on my card at the right time.
5 with a fumble 0. How did you roll that number? Oh my God, that was horrible.
Yeah, and at the end, I think obviously I kept in the back of my mind, call pass, and then I still wanted to stuff the zones, and I should have just called pass and moved the linebackers up.
No, he's talking about your 4th and 1.
Yeah, I know, I saw that too. But what again, what can you do when you get rolls like that? You either roll on his card, or when you roll on your cards, you hit a bad number.
Well, it wasn't a very good matchup for your personnel either. With Russell's not as good on the flats, and that's one of the few spots you might have a shot at him.
Yeah. But, I thought I called a really good game on defense. I thought I stuffed Ingram.
That's what I was saying. I liked showing the aggression, and I felt like that kept him out of a lot of things that probably scared the hell out of you if you actually went and tried to do them. And then,
yeah, I mean, I had to hold my breath on some of those bombs where I had to hope for a sack or an incompletion, but I knew I had to take chances.
Yeah, you did good at keeping him on the flats and running, and I think that played more in your favor than in his.
And then my double teams, I needed to get a pick. I needed to get a pick or two. I just couldn't do it. Just kept hitting a blank. So.
Well, with 7 minutes to go, Dennis, you were right there. 1 drive, a touchdown, and you win the game. I mean, you were.
And he was calling run so much that I had to keep.
Yep.
I felt I had to keep being aggressive deep, but I just didn't connect, and I just didn't, especially the ones that were guessed wrong. I needed Russ to land on his card, and instead I'd land on the defensive cards and throw a pick. Keep an eye open because I sent him a link in text, so he might join Michael. So keep an eye open on to see if Mark comes in.
I like your defensive approaches a lot. I felt like you both did what you had to do, and I also think when you play a team as good as his is, or probably vice versa against your offense, that that's what you have to do. You have to win on defense.
Yeah, it was a good season. I mean, I really didn't expect to even make it this far with that grouping.
Fourth back there and a 5 at safety. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Even with 30 teams, there's like 32 safeties in this set that are a 5 or a 6 this year. So it's
I went. Here, Mark's trying to call me. Hey, what's up? He says his phone's blocking. Can you guys hear him? Mark, go ahead and talk. Can you guys, Mark, say something?
Hello.
Hello. I can hear him now.
Is that working?
We can hear you.
Guys, is
The
that
only
working?
one I can hear is you.
Hold on. Let me switch my thing.
No. Can we try by Messenger? Is it Messenger or what is it? Yeah, Messenger. With Messenger it works. Then you can be able to see me though.
You mean
I'm sorry.
Facebook Messenger? Or you mean just?
Messenger on Facebook. Yeah, you can.
I don't know if that would work with this. Let me see. Okay, guys, can you talk? Go ahead and talk.
Hello.
Wow.
Congratulations, Mark.
Mark. Hey, thank you very much. It was a heck of a game.
Yeah, really good defense. Both coaches, I thought. I liked the defense a lot.
Nathan and I both agree that you guys both called an outstanding defensive game.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Dave said that you called a really good defensive game. Did you have a particular plan that you were going in here with? I mean, I know last year in the playoffs you focused on shutting down Deshaun Jackson because he was my really only deep threat. You double teamed Olsen when you were showing him kind of like leaving him open, and then you called a lot of runs. So maybe you can talk a little bit about your defensive plan going into the game.
Basically, I need to say thank you to my scouting department. We saw the kind of formation that you were playing, and we studied that, and we played accordingly. So basically, that's just nothing. Calling round, I cannot let you run. You were the number one offense running, or the number one running offense in the league. And my feeling is I can force you to throw against my excellent pass defense while keeping your great running back, but then I said I might have a feeling. And fortunately it works. You try a lot of long pass, but Russell Wilson's card is not the best on long pass. And sometimes I left somebody in the zone, sometimes I didn't. But, you know, when we play against you, then we need to choose our poison. And I decide that you will not beat me with your running game. So.
Well, it was a good plan because it worked to perfection. Let me ask you another question. You know, everybody in the league is used to your excellent write-ups game to game. Is there a reason why we haven't seen that this year? I know you mentioned that work was really taking a toll on you.
Oh, look, every time I'm doing my write-ups, I keep them. The only reason I didn't publish this year, I have a feeling beside you that you were liking it. I mean, nobody was really liking it or looking at it, so I had a feeling that, well, it's not really important, so I just stopped doing that because I had a feeling it was not needed or wanted, I should say. You know, when you do a recap, you do a recap of your game. So it's something personal that you public. So it's not the same interest that if I do a mock draft, then everybody is involved. You know, everybody has a part that they want to take a look at it. So that's basically the only reason. But I still have them. If you want, I can make one and I'll publish our game.
I want to see them all. You know, put them out there. Even if you wait till the end of the season, if you don't want to jinx yourself. But I think even if people may not publicly react to them, I think a lot of people did enjoy them. So keep up. It makes the league more enjoyable.
You know, sometimes when you do the trouble, and when I do the write-ups, I try to find the right pictures of the players. I try to find pictures of players that they don't see the name. So you don't, so if I say Mark Ingram in reality for me is DeMarco, what is his name, the former running back?
DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco. So I try to use DeMarco Murray, but I don't want to show his name. So when Ingram plays or I put something like a newspaper thing, I use DeMarco Murray. But I mean, it's a lot of work, and the only gratitude that you got is when somebody likes it. Anyway, that's the way I feel.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading our recap. Please put it up. Guys, did you have any questions for Mark?
I do. I do. Oh, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I remember your original write-ups about the status of the Dallas Cowboys and how you talked about your building process in some of your early years. That was fascinating to me because you ultimately built championship teams, but you sort of previewed that by your analysis of how you're going about building your teams. And I thought those early ones that you did, I'd love to see a retro. If you saved any of those, I'd be fun to kind of go back and see those again, because I remember, kind of pulling for you early on, and now I pull against you, Mark. Okay, you're too good since then, but the early years were tough.
That was Dave Szymanski from the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, and now we have a question from Michael Reeves from Ohio Daily Press.
From the Podunk Times, yeah, right. Mark, first of all, congratulations to you. I enjoyed playing you last week, and I felt I thought it was going to be an uphill climb against your club, especially against an excellent defense. I didn't think it was a good matchup, and the result showed, but I enjoyed it. It was a great chance to play who I believe to be one of the top coaches in this league, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. You're on a run right now where from Super Bowl 10 to 17, that's 8 games, 5 times you've appeared in this championship, including 3 times in a row. But I'm a young coach. This is only my 5th year, my first year in the playoffs. And when I'm looking at your coaching record, you've been in this league for 16 years, but it took you about 5-6 years basically to bust through. So what did you learn over the first few years where basically you had 5 wins, 2 wins, 6 wins? Were you new to the game? Were you just learning the nuances, or were you just busy building your team at that time? How did you build this team to a point where you've made the playoffs basically every year the last 12 with the exception of 1?
Well, okay. But first of all, when I started in the league, the team that I read was really bad team, very, very, very bad team. So it took me like 5 to 6 years to draft picks, through some trades. I remember at some point I traded Michael Strand. He was like a 6'12", and I traded him to hit Barrow for Ty Warren, and I got blasted by the league members saying that was a stupid trade, blah blah blah. But I knew that Warren, playing for the Patriots, will become a 6, not with pass rush, and Strand was at the end of his career. So I didn't listen to anyone. I did it, and Strand, I lost him for 1 year. The next year he retired, or the years after he retired, and Ty Warren gave me a 6 for 3, 4, 5 years. Mm-hmm. The thing is you try. I started at 0, so you build through the draft, you build through trade. At some point you're getting better, and once your team is better and getting, like right now, my team is extremely strong. But I mean, this is my last year. This is my last run, okay? Because next year, everybody is old. Bree's going to retire. I mean, it's
famous last words, Mark. Famous last words. I guarantee you'll be back in the playoffs next year, and probably the year after that. But go ahead.
No, man. Look, Bree's going to be good again next year, but after that, he's gone. My team is aging. So I will need to rebuild. So this year I decide that I'm going to try the best that I can to get everything, to be very competitive. And, it's extremely stressful because you're building a team and there's no margin of error. You don't want to finish. You need to win. It's more stressful for me to have a great team and win. And the only thing is winning at the end. Otherwise, anything It's like in spring fever now. I got a team that's extremely bad, so I'm going to rebuild it, but there'll be no pressure playing that team. But you know, I don't know if you understand. I can imagine a guy like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs during the Super Bowl who have to win, and they have some read in their face, and they lost. So imagine those guys. They're paying millions of dollars for that. And I don't know. It's, anyways, bottom line is to answer Michael is you have to be patient. And you, Michael, your team is good. You got an excellent quarterback, and I believe that next year you don't have to be shy to go and get where you're missing. If you're missing a corner 5, go get him. Dennis has done that in the past. He's missing a certain player. He goes and he takes it, and then he wins championship with that. At some point, you need to be able to gamble. You cannot just play safe. You know, Dennis, in our game, I could have settled for simply a field goal to get 9 points lead, right?
Right.
And I decided to go with a short pass. I mean, it was maybe not the most intelligent decision to do, but at some point, I'm not going to die shaking in my corner. If I win, I'm going to win like a fighter, and if I lose, then I lose like a fighter. You know,
very good. Yeah, go big or go home. I like that. That's a great call.
I mean, Ingram, each time I was running, Ingram was going on your card, or I mean, he had a bad game. I mean, you controlled, you doubled to me several times. I mean, your play calling was excellent. I was being caught most of the game.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely a good defensive battle, but the better team won, and I think that I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. It should be, or the Uber Bowl, excuse me. That should be a good one. So, did you guys have anything else you wanted to bounce off, Mark, before we say goodbye?
Michael, did I answer your question?
Perfectly. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure playing you last week. I wish I could have given you a better game, but after this three-game run that you're on, it's starting to make a lot of sense now. You've got a really dominating defense, a very, very strong, balanced offense, and plus you have pass rush on top of that. You're a tough out, to say the least. And so while I wish I could have given you a better game, I do congratulate you. And looking to go back-to-back, I'd say you've got a really good shot at it.
Just as an example, I traded for Preston Smith, and I gave a second-round pick for Preston Smith. Smith is giving me just the pass rush that I was missing. But, I mean, this year in the NFL, it was awful. So, I mean, it won't be helpful for me next year. And then I give a early second round, and a third round next year for Mark Ingram. But without Ingram, I'm not there.
Right.
Yeah, it's a key piece for sure. So everybody keep that in mind. If you're in spring fever and you want that missing piece, Mark's got Mark Ingram. He can trade him to you.
But that's what he's saying totally makes sense. There's a 30-team league. And if you've got a quarterback card like Breeze with a limited window, how much longer does he have to play, basically? And he's never going to have a card this good. So he's got that window. He's got to take advantage of it. And so he made a lot of aggressive trades to pick up some veterans. So I could see why he would say, yeah, this team is aging. But to have the opportunity to go back-to-back, 3 championships in a row, 3 championship appearances in a row, and the chance to go back-to-back, you go for it, basically. And if you have to rebuild, you rebuild. But you never know when you're going to have this chance again.
Exactly, and I know that next year is going to be difficult, and I will need slowly to restart the rebuilding program, and it'll take like 4 or 5 years if I'm lucky with draft picks and stuff like that.
All righty. Well, thanks a lot, Mark, for joining us. Congratulations again, and good luck in the Uber Bowl.
Thank you very much. Jeff's going to be a heck of an opponent. I mean, never played him. I think I never ever played him.
Oh wow, that should be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So my English was not too bad, guys, because we can do the interview in French if you want.
Is there anyone here parlez-vous français?
No.
Oui, je parle un peu français.
Joie de vivre.
No, but did you understand me well?
Perfectly, yeah, you're great.
Okay, perfect.
All righty.
Congratulations for a good season with your team.
Thank you.
You gave me a challenge, and my heart is
Good. Well, enjoy it, and Thanks for coming on with us, and try to get your StreamYard thing working. It's a nice program. We can get you on here and make it a little bit.
Yeah, the volume is playing on the whole computer. I don't even have a camera on the computer. That's the thing.
Got it. Yeah.
That's the reason. Anyway, I watch your show and I enjoy it, and it's very fun. So keep up the good work. And Jeff's gonna be disappointed because he wants to face you, but well.
No, he's just saying that because he didn't want to face you. So he was trying to use a little reverse psychology there. I think he would have loved to avoid that Dallas defense. So we'll see what happens in the Super Bowl. Like I said, it should be a good one.
Be sure the interview to our guys in the locker room, so we're well aware of it in the comments.
Nice, very good. Bulletin board material. Okay, thanks, Mark.
All right, guys. Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it.
Technically challenged, but we figured it out.
I have I wanted to tell you something, Dennis. I have a friend. We've had, I know you've probably seen it, but our neck of the woods has had really bad ice storms here. This last week, there's a lot of problems here in Eastern Kentucky, Southern Ohio, with power outages. And for the last few days, I had to skip off this broadcast a few times because I've had some family members are staying with me until their power comes back on, and they just left here just a moment ago. They'll be back later. But one of them played college basketball at Marshall, just finished his schooling there. He has a Christian clothing company. He sells T-shirts, his own designs. This guy's a great designer. And he showed me something today. I couldn't believe this. He sent something to DK Metcalf. He wore one of his sweatshirts, basically. And on Metcalf's birthday, he sent him a couple of response videos thanking him for it. I was like, he had no idea how much I like DK Metcalf. And then we were having conversations about him, but I was like blown away. I said, man, I cannot wait to tell Dennis on this podcast about this. I was like, fascinated. And David Moore, he also sent stuff to him too. And he sent back pictures and Instagram pictures and stuff like that. But Metcalf actually repped him twice on video. So I thought that was really killer.
Right. Yeah. I'd like to see those. Yeah. So share out the links and I'll take a look.
Yeah, Divine Plan is the name of his website. And he's just an incredible designer, but these shirts have kind of taken off across the country. He's getting all sorts of good love on Instagram and stuff like that. But when he said DK Metcalf, I'm like, how in the world did you even connect with this guy? And he was coming to work. He was actually coming to the stadium, and he was in his car, and he's kind of like playing his gospel music, kind of looking down at the camera and showing off his shirt and stuff. I was like, I had no idea he was able to connect with him. But anyway, David Moore too. So I was really tickled with that. I thought you'd get a kick.
I like it. Very cool.
Well, you know what? There's always the SSFA, right?
That's it. That's the one.
Another day, another league. There's nothing to get down about. You just got to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was very surprised I made it this far with that team, and I would have loved to have the ball one last time with a chance to win it, but just wasn't meant to be.
We had fours in coverage. That's crazy.
There he is. Yeah. Nathan was on here. Byron's was on here. Saminsky was on here too. And they were all just marveling defensively how you were able to hold this at bay. And especially with 2 interceptions and to still be down only 1 score for the majority of the game. I mean, and with an average defense, like you said, what you have going for you is a pass rush, but that only goes so far. So everybody was just really just going crazy over the fact that you could keep this 2-1 score. You were always – there was never a time that you weren't in this game.
Yeah, it should be a good one to rewatch, because I just needed a roll here or there to really put the pressure on.
Yeah,
are you amazed that people didn't just chuck bombs against you all the time, every game you played?
I think some did. I just either got the sack or was able to overcome it. I have a really good offense. The offense is what carried the team most of the time.
Yeah,
it wasn't the defense.
You were still like 8th in the league in points allowed. So
I didn't know that. Yeah,
for having scored a lot of points, especially.
And a lot of that's like the schedule. What was my, I don't think I played a couple of teams with like poor pass defense or something like that. In my division, the Hamilton had a really rough time. I got them twice. So a lot of that, like in this, you play a little bit of an unbalanced schedule in autumn win. So if you can win your division games and then get on a pretty good roll. You can put up some good stats, but when you get to the playoffs, you're going to have to prove yourself against the better teams, and that doesn't always hold up. Mm-hmm. But I made it a game. It wasn't like I got blown out here, so I'm good with that.
No, not at all. Not at all. There was never a time that you weren't in it. You were always one play away, basically, from turning this thing around. And he's just a buzzsaw. I mean, he basically has 3 playoff games now, and he's allowed 13 points. He only allowed 179 a game.
Yeah, I would like to see how many times that he called run and I missed the pass. I mean, how many times is that going to happen? Russell Wilson just incomplete after incomplete after incomplete.
Or he also threw a pick. I think maybe 2 picks on just wrong.
Right. Yeah, some of them were bombs, which is, you're dangerous, especially against excellent pass defense. But like I said, I had to do it. I had to try.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Did you throw 2 interceptions on guess wrong passes, Dennis?
yeah, that's what Nathan was just saying. Yeah, I think it was 2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a good.
One of them was a good double team. He double teamed Olsen. That was on Wilson's card. The fourth one was at the end of the game. Doesn't really matter. But the two of those were on guessed wrong. One short pass, one long pass. Short pass with 4 minute zone. Still tough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but at the end of this, you can't break the game. You have to play like you play. There's moves that you can make, especially defensively. The first half was outstanding, but I mean, at some point you are going to have to put the ball up in the air, and when you do, you risk that, great pass defense. I did that in the second half against him last week and threw 2 picks on consecutive possessions in the second half, and that's pretty much your ball game.
Yeah, when I beat him in the regular season, I got the breaks, I got the turnovers, and it just didn't happen today. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for broadcasting the game. Thanks for having me on, and. I'm sure I'll see almost all of you, I will see all of you, Duke and in Spring Fever, and Nathan and Michael in SSFA, and Nathan's in Spring Fever too. We got to get you in that one, Michael.
Well, yeah, and we've got the broadcast whenever we put this Autumn Win Championship. Hopefully, they can get a time that everybody can agree upon.
Sounds good.
Has anybody else talked to Mark before? Was I the only one who was surprised with his accent?
No, I've talked to him several times. He even takes the time to call me on my birthday to say happy birthday.
That's very kind. That's
very kind. Cool dude.
That is nice. That is nice. I was just a little taken aback. That's all.
Nice job.
I called him to say happy birthday to him, and it wasn't his birthday. I had the dates wrong.
Just a little detail like that.
Yeah, it's important. He's like, thanks, you're only 6 months late. So or 6 months early.
That was the American equivalent. Maybe in Canada that's how they celebrate birthdays, but not around these parts.
Yeah, I don't know why I had it marked wrong for some reason. Anyway.
Hey, Dennis, that was a great season, buddy. Congratulations to you. It was a great year. And, like you said, he may be rebuilding, but you're not rebuilding anytime soon. We'll sure you see you right back in these playoffs again.
You're wrong. I'm rebuilding too. I've got like tons. All my guys are aging out too. But I didn't do any trades this year. I didn't trade any future picks because I didn't think this team was really meant for the long term.
Be careful who you're saying aging to here, okay?
My guys, when you got Golden Tate and Deshaun Jackson, and they've been your main receivers for just about a decade, you're in trouble.
I have never seen a rebuilding Dennis Morales team in my 5 years. I've yet to believe it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys.
Take care, Dennis.
We'll see you around. See ya.
All right, buddy. All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up. 17-3, final score, right, guys? 17-3. So the Dallas Cowboys will advance to their 3rd consecutive Autumn Wind title game. This is Autumn Wind's 17th edition. So Mark LePage, one of the most prolific coaches that we have in Autumn Wind, will make his 5th career appearance in the Autumn Wind Championship, and he will be facing off against first-time combatant Jeff Smith, who will represent the AFC at 12-4. Jeff Smith, both these clubs at 3 seeds were wild card winners. Both of these seeds will play each other. We will schedule the game on the Autumn Wind board on our Stratomatic board. We'll be posting this also on the website. If you're first time looking at this game and wondering what in the world we are doing, if you visit Stratomatic.com, you can learn more about this game that has its roots in the early 70s board game and has been an electronic version for several decades. Lots of leagues around the country. It's very easy to get involved. Visit Stratomatic.com to learn more. Nathan, thanks for being here. Duke, good to see you again. We'll be back in another broadcast here very soon. In the meantime, everybody, God bless and stay safe. We'll see you soon.